Hello, guys, welcome to another episode of Monique's. Today, our topic is choosing a friend at work. Personally, I don't joke with friendship at work because I feel the friends we make at work they go a long way in helping us in different aspects of our lives. And once again, personally, I feel friendship is not just about having a casual gist partner. It's about having someone who, apart from your spouse or your close relatives, they know a lot about you. There are people you spend a lot of time with. You know, that you share your time with them. You're committed to them. You know, there are people who, when you do things for them, you're not under pressure. They don't doing things for them doesn't cost you anything at all. Like you're just happy to be around them. You're happy to do things for them, and so to our short story for today. This short story is not directly related to the topic, but it's somewhat based on friendship and what friends can do for you. Now, I went to a girls only school, secondary school now, and then I was in my junior days in GSS 1 and GSS 2. I remember being the assistant class captain, and I know that then one of the responsibilities of the class captain and the assistant class captain was to provide, comments on every class member, such that those comments are the ones the head teacher will put in each person's report card at the end of the school year. So, precisely when I was in GSS2, the class captain wasn't around, so the responsibility to provide those comments fell on me. So, I had to provide comments on each classmate of mine then. There was this young lady in my class who her parents were our parents were friends to my own parents, but the girl and I weren't friends. We weren't friends. And then she was one of those people who I think she repeated a class. That was why she was in my class. So she was more like a senior somewhat to every other person in class. So she was this kind of person who was, I would call her a bully, because she would, if she says a thing, you have to, go with whatever she says. If she tells you to do something, you have to do whatever she tells you to do. So I sort of saw her as a bully. And apart from seeing her as a bully, she was one of those people who would skip classes. She would come to school in the morning, but some way, somehow, you just discover that towards the afternoon period, say from 12 p.m., she's no longer in school, and then everybody begins to wonder, like, where is this lady? Where is this lady? We don't see her. She rarely comes to, she rarely attends classes, but she comes to school. So when it was time to prepare the comments, of course, I was very young, naive. I didn't know how to sugarcoat the truth. I said the truth as the way back then. So I still do too. So right there, the comment I provided against her name was that Lady A rarely comes to class. Lady A is a truant. And funny enough, the head teacher puts exactly those words in her report card. And trust me, this landed me in trouble. How did this land me in trouble? So there was a day I was, just gisting with some of my friends. And luckily for me, I had friends who were like taller than myself back then. And they were like huge, big statured girls. And so like one of them or two of them, I don't remember, well now, but I remember some of them came to me to say that they heard of Lady A's plan to wheelie me on my way home one of the days, to give me maximum beating. Of course, I was so scared, like, if this girl wheelies me and beats me on the road, she's going to break my bones, because I was so tiny, and as I think I was about 10 years old, I was so tiny. I was like, she's going to break my bones. So I was so scared. So my friends told me not to worry, because most of us then were like this students. So at the end of each school, they would go home. So some of them told me not to worry, that for the rest of the school term, which was about maybe 4 days to the end of the school term, that they would, go home with me, such that Lady A would not be able to hatch a plan. Our plans would not be able to come to fruition. So I was super happy that, okay, my friends who were more like my bodyguards now would always go home with me. So, and for a fact, throughout the remaining days for the term to be over, my friends actually, followed me home. So Lady A could not hatch a plan. That was how I escaped for that period of time. And the lady could not, give me the maximum beating she had planned. I'm not sure if actually she had a plan, but according to gist, that was what I heard was going to happen to me. But I was lucky to escape. Now back to our story about choosing, no, about our topic, choosing a friend at work. I'm going to tell you from my own personal perspective, this is me now. I'm not saying this applies to everybody, but I think when you're planning on choosing a friend, especially for those of us who are just entering into the job market, or those of us who are switching offices, and then you're wondering, who should be my friend, who should I make my friend, who should I work with, who should I, try to build a career with in this, office. I think first thing you should do is to be observant. Don't rush into becoming friends with people. Be observant. That is one rule I have set for myself. Anywhere I go, be it a church, be it school, be it a workplace, anywhere I find myself, I should first be observant before choosing who my friends are. So when you observe, I think in terms of choosing who should be your friends, the first thing I would say is never choose a gossip as a friend. In one of my videos in the past, I've talked about, how I got delivered from, gossiping. So you can watch that video to understand fully what I mean. And then now, run away from people who are gossips. Because if you are not careful, if you begin to, work with people who gossip all the days of their lives at work, before you know it, you begin to swim in the ocean of gossip. That will be all about you. And the bad thing about gossip is once you start, it will be very hard for you to stop, because gossip just engulfs your own life. It ravishes you, like you won't be able to stop. So run away from people who gossip. And then never go for someone who criticize other people. There are some people at work who all they do, whether they are seniors or they are juniors, they always criticize people. They criticize people's outputs. Even their peers, they criticize their output. They say, oh, she did a bad job. Her output is not fantastic. I don't like to work with her. I don't like to work with him. They criticize people's outputs. And the funny thing is that it is a reality of life that not everybody at work can, produce the good outputs people want to see. Some people are lacking. Some people are slow learners. Some people are just, on the average. Not, they will pick up sometime later, but not everybody can be on the top. So if you have people around you who all they do is to criticize, those people are lacking, or those people who are average, don't make them your friends. Because before you know it, you're going to imbibe that same attitude and you begin to criticize people. That will be all you do too. And then I will say to you that try to, run away from people who consider others who are doing well at work as threats. This is some form of inferiority complex to me, because if you feel like everybody who does well at work is a threat to you, like, oh, you see them as a threat, like you see them as people who you can never match up to, that is a problem. There are some people who all they do is they consider everybody as a threat. If you want to be friends with people like that, I don't know how you're going to, separate that from their attitude. It depends on you. But personally for me, I wouldn't love to make someone who sees everybody as a threat as my friend, because I don't want to have that same attitude, because that is some form of inferiority complex I don't want to, partake in. So watch out. And then I would say to you that never go for people who complain all their lives. There are some people who in the workplace, they never see anything good in the workplace. They complain about every single thing. They complain about management. They complain about the job they do. They complain about their take home. They complain about people around them. They complain about almost everything. You know what I think of these people like this? I see them as people who are actually ungrateful, because if all you do is to complain, you never see anything good in anything around you, then there is a problem. You're actually ungrateful. So personally for me, when people complain too much around me, I find it irritating. So I would rather not surround myself with people who belong to this category. While I generally know that no one can be perfect, no one can be, all good, no one can be the focused, the super player, the super person who provides the best output at work. Everybody has some flaw or the other. Nobody is flawless. Everybody has one flaw or the other. There might be some lady or some guy who at work is, extraordinary, they're intelligent, they generate a good, output, but they might have some flaws. And that flaw might be that they gossip or they criticize or they complain. So what I would say to you is that in choosing who that friend of yours is going to be, weigh the positives and the negatives. So if they have a lot of good, attributes, the positives outweighs the negative, of course you can make do with that. You can work with them. You can also set a standard such that, for instance, if that person who has a positive attitude has some form of attitude which may be like the gossip somehow, but not like the gossip too much, but they somehow gossip, you can let them know that you're not one for gossip. Whenever it's time for them to gossip and they come around, you just let them know, dude or babe, I'm not, cut out for this. So they already know that, okay, you are not cut out for gossip. You are only interested in, getting the job done. Not just getting the job done, getting a good job done, having fun, chatting, just about life generally, sharing experiences and what have you. So personally for me, I've been fortunate to meet a lot of great people at work. The few people that I call my friends, I've been fortunate because they are the kind of people who I actually, love to have around me. Not like they don't have their flaws; they also have their flaws. But I feel that the positives outweigh the negatives. So there's this particular lady who I met in my first place of work. She's actually older than me, but I see a lot of good in her, and I feel like, okay, she's the kind of person I would love to be friends with until today. Even though I left the job a long while ago, we are still friends till today. I call her a mentor and also a destiny helper, because in terms of my career, in terms of the progress I've made so far in my career, my academics, she has always been there. She has always been one to encourage me. She has always been one of those people who tell me I can achieve whatever I want to achieve. She's just there. She has been there from day one, and I'm so glad I met her, and I'm still in touch with her till today. So what I would just say to wrap this up is that be careful when you're choosing who your friends are, because one thing I found out about friends we make at work is that these friends are the ones we spend most of our time with. They're the ones who end up becoming our family friends now or in the future. They're the ones who are kids, we relate with their kids, when we have celebrations, we have events, they're the ones who attend. So they become more like our life partners, like our friends are always in everything to do. They're always around whenever we're around them. They're always there when we have things to do, So you have to be observant, you have to be careful, choose the right set of people to be your friends, because there are some friendships you step into and you find it very difficult to step out. It's like a relationship, like cutting someone, so you need to be careful. I hope you've learned from this episode, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for supporting me. I'll see you. Have a good day. Bye.